Hi, welcome back to the garden. My name's Dawn. Tom and I are going to be doing a lot of stuff in the garden today. It's August 5th and we're going to be harvesting a lot of tomatoes. Tom's going to be planting carrots. I'll take you for a little tour around the garden, see what's ready to harvest. So August is a very busy month. We're harvesting all our spring and summer crops, but we also have to get ready for all the fall crops. We have to do the planting, get the beds ready. We're also have to get all the summer crops preserved, making sauce and tomato juice and, you know, dehydrating, all that kind of stuff. So come along with us today as we're working in the garden, and hope you enjoy the video. So here's our potato bed. It's almost done. They can stay in the ground weeks yet. We have so much to do with our tomatoes that we're not going to harvest these yet. And I hope you come back when we do harvest them, because we have a very unique way that we harvest potatoes. Tom thought of this a couple years ago and it worked great, and I just love it. And so please join us when we do potatoes. You might get a kick out of it. Here's a quick look at the beans. I'm gonna have to get Tom to get those. Those are Monte Gusto. Those are the pole beans. And you can't see them as well, but there's a green. Oh, I got to show you my little French beans. They're doing well. And my English cucumbers. Oh, that's perfect. Here's a quick look at my winter squash. This is how nice it is growing on a trellis. You can see everything. Look over there. I have some up here. This is doing nice. I don't want to jinx it. Keep looking for the squash beetle. And so far so good. And then I have a little butternut squash right here. And this is a different type of acorn squash. I think I planted 3 different kinds this year. So we have this kind. And the zucchinis are doing pretty good. That's a patty pan squash. They are so delicious. I think I have a few. Oh, there's another one. So the cucumbers are doing very well. You see this trellis is 8 feet tall and they're growing way up there. So in a couple weeks, maybe even a week, cucumbers grow really fast. We'll be able to make more pickles. I made 28 quart jars of pickles from the cucumbers I picked last week. Tom loves his pickles. He can eat a quart a week. So my goal is usually to try to make 60 quarts. Last year, the cucumbers were not good. So we only have 2 jars left. And the pickles I just made are not going to be ready, they say 6 to 8 weeks. He usually opens them early if if he runs out of the other ones. And here you can see the peppers are doing awesome. They are just starting to turn color. Here are my dragonfly and black beauty peppers. And this is Flavor Burst. And here's the French beans. I have little green French beans. These are just in flower, so they should get a lot more. Then I have yellow French filet beans. Look how cute they are. Very small. So this is a carrot bed we're going to be planting for the fall. In the previous video, we took the plastic off and added compost. So Tom's been watering it every day to try to get any weeds to germinate. And they're just coming up now. We got weeds here and here. And so now that the weeds are germinating, Tom will take the flame weeder and burn off any weeds. And now today plant the carrots. And that will take care of a lot of the weeds that are going to grow and compete with the little seeds of the carrots. And these will be our fall carrots. So Tom's using the flame weeder. That will kill off any weeds by burning them off. And then we will start off with a nice weed-free bed when we plant the carrots. Works very nice. And there you go. Now we can plant the carrots. Don't have to worry about the weeds for a while.
We just fill those two up.
We use this little 4-row seeder. This is really good for small little seeds. We do the radishes and the turnips with this. These are the carrots we planted in July, and this is our August planting here. So Tom is sprinkling down seed mulch. All it is a paper product. And it just holds moisture so the seeds don't dry out. And then it just biodegrades. Okay, we just got done taking the plastic off this bed. This is where our onions were. We're getting it prepped and ready to put our winter garden in here. We do low tunnels, which we have beets, carrots, turnips, things like that. And we put the low tunnel over it, and then we can harvest right into, depending on the weather, January, February sometimes, which is nice, just coming out to the garden and picking fresh vegetables even in the winter. So now that we have the plastic up, we fold them up, store them in a bin, and then we reuse them next year. We reuse them over and over again. So it makes it very easy in the spring just to lay this back down and then plant whatever we want. Tom's just getting done board forking this bed. I think I'd rather harvest the tomatoes and let him do this work. It's much easier. Looks like it's ready for carrots.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. It's almost ready for carrots. Tom's just going to rake it out and then put some compost on top, and then we can plant. This will be for our late fall harvest into winter. So I'm getting ready to harvest the tomatoes. I think I'm going to harvest the tomatoes, and then Tom's going to be working on the other beds. This is my row of indeterminate tomatoes, which is really for eating. But look at the size of these. These are heirlooms. Very good, very delicious. So I have 2 rows of indeterminate tomatoes, which are mainly for eating, but I do throw them in my sauces because they just add some nice flavor. And I have 4 rows of determinate tomatoes that are ready to be picked somewhat. And then I have 2 rows of determinate for later on because I make salsa verde out of those. So we just let them go green and then we pick those. So we're going to pick all the tomatoes and show you what we get. So I'm going to spend the next couple days processing and making tomato juice and tomato sauce out of these tomatoes. Woo! A lot of work. So this is one of my rows of my determinate tomatoes. This is Mountain Fresh, and I use these for sauce. They're good for eating too, but they're very firm. And that second row that Tom's showing you right now is Galahad. This is the indeterminate. On the indeterminate, I have 2 rows, and I always plant cherries and my small tomatoes on the end. So I have grapes and cherries on the ends, and in the middle I have the regular heirloom tomatoes that are really good for eating. So like I said, I put the small tomatoes on each end, cherries and grapes. Right here are my grapes. These are my grape tomatoes. These are called 5-star grape. They produce so many tomatoes. I use them when I'm cooking, so when you throw them into the food, these have a little thicker skin than regular cherries, and they're not as sweet, but their flavor is very nice. But my favorite for eating is this black cherry, and that's the other reason we put them on the ends, because when we're down here working in a garden, we can just come here and snack because they're so flavorful. But here's a look at the back side where you can see a lot more of the tomatoes. So I think I'm going to get a good amount for sauce. Oh, I just saw. This is called pineapple. Look at this tomato. It's not ready to be picked, but see the red? It gets a lot more red striping, and it's gorgeous and it tastes delicious. This is the second row of indeterminate tomatoes. If you can see here, I have another 5-star grape here, and I also have this orange grape, which is called Nova. This is my son's favorite of all the cherries and grapes. So what I'm going to do with all the small tomatoes that I don't use with eating because I have so many is I dehydrate them. I saw a YouTuber do it a couple years ago, dehydrating, and they made tomato powder. And I started adding it to my food, and I made meatballs. And I didn't tell Tom I put it in there. I didn't think anything of it. And he was like, wow, these meatballs are the most delicious meatballs you've made. So I started using it a little more and other things, and it adds so much flavor to food. So this year I'm trying to dehydrate more because I used up all of it last year, and I didn't have enough to use any for this year. So that's a big priority on my list. So here's our harvest of our tomatoes. Today is August 5th, like I said before, and this is the first time that we picked like a lot of tomatoes at once. We've been eating all, for a month now, but we got some really nice sized tomatoes here. We got some, these are the eating ones. This is called pineapple. This is just gorgeous with the red streaks in it. And this is another one. This is black crim. And we have all different types. Over here, that's my slicers. Then we have the plums, we have the grapes, the cherries, and these are from the determinate tomatoes. So all day tomorrow, I'm going to be making sauce. Now for my favorite part of the garden, picking some flowers. pretty. I keep wanting to pick this one, but it's too pretty. I can't do it. Let's get some more zinnias and snapdragons over here. Oh, that's pretty. It's a double red. Let's get some yellow celotias. Look how pretty that is. Next to the purple. Gorgeous. Oh, let's see how that works. That's going to be pretty. Wow, that's a gorgeous combination of colors. That's perfect. And I hope you enjoyed coming with us to pick our vegetables and pick some flowers. And good luck with your garden, and I'll see you soon.